This week on Spoke TV, a world record attempt right here in Waterloo Region.
It was bright, colorful, eye-catching, and fun.
The deadly fentanyl found in Kitchener and the new strategy to combat the opioid crisis.
Not be afraid to call 911.
Then we meet a local couple who has opened their home to the homeless.
Just that being in the house has changed my life.
All that and more on this week's episode of Spoke TV.
Hello, and welcome to Spoke TV, Conestoga College's weekly news show produced by second-year journalism students. I'm Matthew DeVette Johnston.
And I'm Cassetta Black. Studies show that writing down what you are grateful for can improve mental health and well-being. A local business called Plasticity Labs has set the world's record for the biggest gratitude wall. Spoke TV's Varsha Shiganish has more.
A local tech company set the world record for the biggest gratitude wall with a total of 6,115 sticky notes filled with messages of appreciation. Plasticity Labs is located in the Tannery building in downtown Kitchener. Jennifer Moss, the co-founder of Plasticity, talks about entering the Guinness World Records.
2 years ago, we petitioned to the Guinness Book of World Records to see if we could be the biggest gratitude wall in the world. And it took 2 years, and then finally they said, yes, your application has been approved. And so International Day of Happiness rolled around. We thought that's a perfect time to actually make the world record attempt.
Moss believes that gratitude comes with many psychological benefits and a better work atmosphere. Plasticity's goal was to have 5,000 messages up on their wall by Tuesday. The wall has space only to fit 5,300 messages. As of March 27th, they have received over 10,000 messages. The wall features messages from people of different ages. Some local figures like Kitchener Mayor Barry Weberwick and Kitchener Deputy Fire Chief Rob Martin also contributed to the wall. To get the pixel design, they had to write 5,300 PGBO letters on the wall to tell people what colored sticky notes to place where. These letters stand for the colors pink, green, blue and orange. Ashley McLean, designer for Plasticity, helped create the colorful designs on the wall.
So we just wanted something that was bright, colorful, eye-catching, and fun. It makes you, just looking at it, makes you feel as good as it does to actually put a post up.
The world record has been submitted to the Guinness Book of World Records for review, and if it gets approved, then Plasticity gets the record for the biggest gratitude wall. For Spoke TV, I'm Varsha Shiganish.
Opioid and fentanyl use and distribution is on the rise in Waterloo Region. Drugs pose a problem for any region, as there are multiple implications if illegal drugs are present. Waterloo Region is looking to combat the rising opioid and fentanyl problems in the area. Waterloo Region's integrated drug strategy is designed in hopes of keeping the region safer and healthier. Removing the stigma around drugs and helping those with addictions is something that Lindsay Sprague hopes to achieve.
To not be afraid to call 911, because we know that a barrier to getting medical help is people are afraid to call 911 for fear of police involvement.
The region hopes the introduction of safe injection sites as a way to stop overdoses and help people deal with their addictions. With cannabis legalization coming up in the near future, Sprague says people should keep in mind that you should never do drugs alone and reduce the risk of overdose and drug-related deaths.
The LRT construction caused some small businesses to shut down. Other small businesses survive due to the unique services that they bring to the community. I went out to speak to some small businesses about their experiences.
It's been 3 years since the LRT construction began in the KW area. Some small businesses failed due to the construction. Others survived because of the unique services they bring to the community.
People don't like to be inconvenienced, and the LRT has been a big inconvenience for a lot of people who used to come downtown.
Operating a business that provides a specialty service to the public was one of the benefits that kept ex-DISC-C in business during the LRT construction.
But certain things aren't reissued, and you can only get them here. Certain albums from the 50s, 60s, and 70s, Kevin has them all.
The customers for Sharper Images on Queen Street found it difficult to access the building during the construction.
There's no way to get inside here. trucks blocking the place, couldn't see what's going on. So yeah, a lot of sales, places was fenced up. So yeah.
Eat Well Organically on King Street in Waterloo is closing their business March 31st due to loss in profits.
You can't walk here, you can't bike here, you can't park here, you can't drive here. That's the feedback we've been getting from our customers. In the last 3 years, we've lost $1.5 million in sales.
The LRT is still in its testing stages. For Spoke TV, I'm Cassetta Black.
Coming up, we'll find out about a more environmentally friendly car engine. Stay with us.
Combustion engines in cars have been improved in the new research done at the University of Waterloo. Spoke TV's Jason Asa gives us more.
Mechanical engineering students at University of Waterloo built a valve that will be reliably and affordably increase the speed of the internal combustion engine by more than 10%. This technology has been worked on for decades. It can reduce how much fuel we use in our cars and transport trucks. Researcher Amir Kashipur, professor of mechanical and mechatronics at Waterloo, talks about the project.
So it can be installed on any engine, whether it's a diesel or gasoline, small or large, eventually can be used in order to improve their efficiency.
The valves developed by Kashipur replaces with hydraulic cylinders and rotary hydraulic valves can enable the use of full speed and torque of the engine, changing how it starts up. Here at the University of Waterloo, engineers have been working to create a greener engine for combustion vehicles. With this new valve in our engines, it could self-sustainably reduce our carbon footprint, which could be a transition to a cleaner electrical engine and help our consumption of emissions.
Mostly for larger engines, that the fuel cost is the main cost of the operating, that any few percentage saving on the fuel could end up to tens of thousands of dollars.
Plus, this new technology can be the key of reducing the cost of fuel and emissions from vehicles. For Spoke TV, I'm Jason Asa.
Conestoga College is looking for student feedback as its Students Affairs Department goes through a review. Conestoga College launched the Respect campaign in 2008 to reinforce the positive behaviors that students and staff already practice on campus. Now, a decade later, it has come up for review, and the college is talking to members of the community, including students, to get their feedback on policies. The school has done several focus groups discussions with students to look at student concerns and setting standards for behavior. There have also been discussions on whether it would be beneficial to open a Student Rights and Responsibilities office. Since November, Student Affairs has met with 125 students and other groups to get a wide array of opinions. So far, responses have been consistent, speaking of the challenges around accessibility and consistency. The research is ongoing and no new policies or programs have been announced.
Have you heard about the Intermediate Christian Home? It's a home for the homeless people who have rehabilitated themselves to live a better life. Tushar Sethi gives us more.
This is Intermediate Christian Home.
I had a few suicide attempts, but being in the house has changed my outlook.
Matthew, who is 19 years old, recently moved here. There are few other people also living in this home, which was founded as a non-profit organization in 2003. Founders and managers Richard and Murella Martin have contributed a lot to make this place better and better since then.
Well, my husband and I met at a Christian-based drop-in center for people that are homeless or struggling with poverty. We got married in the year 2000, and we had challenges early on in our marriage. My husband was diagnosed 6 months after we got married with bipolar disorder.
Mr. and Mrs. Martin had sold their condo to keep this home a better place to live for homeless people.
We sold our condo. We have used up our RSPs by this point. So through the years, we had to use up a lot of our savings, our retirement funds. And once we moved into the home in 2015, things actually got better. The program just became more like a family atmosphere in the home.
Murella says community support has been helping them to overcome the problems they had faced in the past.
We are Also supported by social services, and obviously the medical community is doing their part in helping these individuals.
Pitapit on Haspiller Road in Cambridge is a regular contributor to Intermediate Christian Home. Owner Sunny Otwal tells us why he got involved.
Like growing up, my dad used to always say, take 10% out of your paycheck and give back to charity, give back to the community. As a kid, I never understood that, but now that I'm older, and that's what we do. So it's a lesson that I was taught growing up from my father and from my family. So I mean, the average pita, like for instance, chicken pita is about $8.99 plus tax. So I mean, we donate about 8 to 10 pitas a week. So you know, $8.99 times 10, $89.99.
People in this home help each other with cooking, dishwashing, praying, playing games, and talk to each other to share their everyday stories.
Well, this house being in the house has changed my life, because before I was really struggling with my mental health.
People who live in this home are not homeless anymore, do not do drugs, and live a happy and a healthy life. For Spoke TV, I am Tushar Sethi.
After this, find out what Arnold Schwarzenegger's son has been up to in our film review segment. In entertainment news, there's a rather unique question that's being flitted around on social media. Who bit Beyoncé? Yes, it came to light that at a high-profile party in LA in December, an unnamed actress bit the singer on the face while under the influence of some kind of drug. Other celebrities are keeping tight-lipped about who the culprit is, including Beyoncé, but the singer's fans have begun an investigation, and based on the success of similar internet searches, they may very well succeed. In the box office, Pacific Rim Uprising took the top spot with $28 million in ticket sales, overtaking Black Panther, which fell to the number 2 spot, while still bringing in $17 million in sales. I can only imagine a Christian film which was made only on a budget of $7 million holds the number 3 spot with $13 million in sales. It has made a total of $42 million worldwide so far. And in video game news, the highly anticipated Far Cry 5 was released this week. The game's sales skyrocketed as people ran to Steam and gaming stores, eager to take the fight to an evil cult in rural Montana. The game has become Ubisoft's second most popular title, blowing the previous Far Cry games out of the water in terms of player count, with just under 300,000 total owners estimated and an 80% positive review rate. And with good boys like Boomer here in the game, who wouldn't want to have a go at it?
Our film reviewer went to see a teen romantic movie, Midnight Sun, which stars Bella Thorne and Patrick Schwarzenegger. This 2018 American romantic drama is directed by Scott Speer and written by Eric Kirsten. Thanks for being here with us today, Sandra. How are you doing today?
Thanks for having me. I feel great after watching this movie.
I have a few questions for you. Who's playing in this feature?
So Bella Thorne, as you mentioned, she's a very good-looking girl, and she's the main character, along with Patrick Schwarzenegger. You can guess that he's Arnold Schwarzenegger's son. He has the looks minus the accent, and there is her father, who is raising her on her own, Rob Riggle. We know him from comedies. Here he has a more serious role of a very loving father.
Okay, and tell us about the movie, just a little bit, the plot. Warm us up a bit.
So, Katie Price is the name of her main character. She's a 17-year-old girl growing up on her own because she has to stay behind tinted windows. She's very sensitive to daylight, so she can't be exposed to the sun. Therefore, she's just going out at night sometimes, and she plays guitar. During days, she's looking through her window, and she noticed one boy, Charlie, who is always on his skateboard, but they never spoke, of course, because they are on a different time zones, you know. She lives during night, and she's homeschooled, so she just graduated. He graduated too. Accidentally, when they met, when she was on one of her regular nights out, when she plays at the train station, music that she has written, and he was smitten with her, but as every typical teenager, she's kind of clumsy and awkward with him, so we get few laughs during their initial interactions. also these interactions kind of make you feel like a teenager again when you watch it. So Patrick is very charming. Both of them are so good looking that you get drawn into their story and you miss on noticing some little illogical things in plot that may be hard to believe. Overall, movie is very relaxing. It's promoting good family values, good morals. There is no violence or blood. It's very relaxing. You feel good after you see it. And acting is pretty good. Patrick is only a few times maybe a little stiff, but it is still good acting. I think he's better than his father. He has a promising career. So this is a first love for Katie Price, and she's risking her life almost because she's staying with her puppy lover for the first time. I mean, they're not lovers. This is very pure love, and their romance is just continuing during summer. So I'm not going to spoil it for you. I'm not going to say how it ends, but you will feel good after watching this movie.
Sandra, what did you like most about the movie?
I liked how it's filmed. Shots are very nicely done. All actors are very attractive. It's a modern movie. Music is good. And overall, it is very good experience if you want to just take worries off your mind.
Sandra, I want to thank you so much for taking the time to come and to talk to us today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Interested in checking out some art? Kitchener Public Library hosts a number of community art exhibits in its lower forum. Spoke TV's Nadia Elawad has more.
Kitchener Public Library has a lot more to offer than a good read. The library's lower level is home to a variety of artwork that annually gives artists the opportunity to showcase their craft. The space is free of charge, and creators are more than welcome to sell pieces from their collections. Robert Wonka's oil and acrylic paintings and graphite drawings cover the walls this month in his visual impression on transportation in the Twin Cities. Wonka says his interest in railroading drew him to the artistic opportunities of the LRT construction in Kitchener-Waterloo, but it was also his interest in builders and his knowledge of portraiture that brought together his vision.
I love the fact that builders, makers, I think of myself almost like one of those, okay, a builder maker, or at least I idealize or I find them interesting. They're usually the unsung heroes. They build all this stuff that we take for granted, this building itself, the lighting and everything else, built by makers, builders.
Wonka's work received great feedback and will be on display until March 29th. For Spoke TV, I'm Nadia Elawad.
Thanks, Nadia. The library is such a great place for art. It's quiet, you could research, the environment is serene. What do you think, Matthew?
Yeah, I agree. It's a very good place to have that kind of stuff. And there's been a lot of like local art things that seem to have been coming up recently. Just local artists seem to be kind of popping up in a really, really cool way.
That's all we have for this week. I'm Cassetta Black.
And I'm Matthew DeVette Johnston. For more stories and information, visit our website at spoketv.ca and follow us on Twitter @SpokeTV.